Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to Lights Over Loveland. Today I just want to make a video talking about a few things that I watched recently that I thought were fascinating, and I just wanted to bring more attention to it. So recently I just watched the newest Joe Rogan with Tom Campbell on there. And Tom is a really fascinating guy. He was associated with the Monroe Institute. He's actually the voice on like half of the Gateway tapes. And just listening to him talk about he calls it my big toe, his theory of everything. And he just lays really good groundwork for a model of reality that I think, seems very likely. He talks about out of body experiences, and he talks about extraterrestrials and all that, and how they could fit into this model and all these kinds of different things. And basically how our reality is just basically like a video game. It's like a virtual reality that's being hosted by the larger server, which is like consciousness. The larger consciousness is what's like hosting this reality, and we are just smaller virtual machines, which is an individual slice of consciousness experiencing this reality. And he explains it really well and in a way that a lot of people can comprehend. And yeah, I thought it was really, really good. I would definitely recommend checking it out and just having an open mind. And he's able to basically answer any of the questions that people have in his model. So I would check that out. And then another thing I just wanted to talk about was some of the whistleblowers. So I watched Jesse Michels, and he had a whistleblower on there talking about he worked for nukes at Ellsworth Air Force Base, which coincidentally, that's actually where I was stationed, but I was stationed there after it was decommissioned and it was no longer a nuclear facility. But just listening to his experience, and he goes into very great detail to recollect his experience, and I find him highly credible, and I believe him. And I would recommend checking that out too. And lastly, I would also recommend checking out the interview Ross Coulthart did with the new whistleblower, Jake Barber. And I know a lot of people were kind of disappointed by the footage of the egg-shaped craft, but I think look beyond all that and listen to some of the things that he's talking about. And I'm very happy that he's talking about how this is tied into consciousness, and he even brought up the divine feminine in there. And I think the more that it gets out into the mainstream media about consciousness and how all these things are connected, the better. I'm ready for people to start awakening to the fact that we are more than these physical bodies. And when you listen to the Joe Rogan with Tom Campbell, like, he really explains that we're more than these physical bodies, and we're capable of so much more, like being able to leave this avatar body that we're in and experience these different virtual realities, which he explained he went and visited multiple of them. And having an out of body myself, I can definitely recommend just looking into the subject, and whether you believe it or not, just go in with an open mind and do some research for yourself. Because a lot of this stuff I didn't believe at first either, and after doing research, I realized, wow, these are very credible people who are exploring this and, searching for answers. And you can gain a lot of knowledge. You can tap into basically the universal stream of consciousness and find knowledge for basically everything that exists in this universe and reality. So I would definitely recommend checking that out. And lastly, I would recommend checking out the newest episode of Bledsoe Said So. Chris Bledsoe is back on there again. It's been a while since he's been on there. And I love Chris Bledsoe, his story, and just him as a person. Like, people get caught up so much in the nuts and bolts and the physical aspect of this phenomenon, and really, there's so much more to it than that. There's this deeply spiritual side to it, and it has nothing to do with religion. In fact, religion kind of pushes this narrative of all these different things that is a man-made construct. And really, when you get into spirituality and the root, like core of it, and just connecting to spirit and these orbs that are seen in the sky that I've recorded myself, and there's so much more. They're like angelic beings that are here to guide us in our awakening, to help us become aware of the fact that we are more than this physical body, and we need to start working together to come together to become a whole piece of just unconditional love that's working together to solve all the problems that we have on this planet. And if we can overcome all those things, like I've said in some of my other videos, but this world would be a vastly different place if we just stopped all the fighting and violence and realized that we are all pieces of each other. We are all individual slices of that whole consciousness. We're just smaller pieces of it. Yeah, so I'd highly recommend checking all that out. Definitely check out Chris Bledsoe if you haven't already. And the most interesting thing about Chris Bledsoe is he is involved with all these government agencies and everything, and they're coming to him for answers. Like NASA and all them are asking why are these things here? Why are they doing the things that they're doing? And they're spinning this narrative of fear and violence and all this, but really we just need to come together in love, and that's what they're trying to help us see and open up to and become aware of. But this is going to be the end of this video. I just want to say thank you so much for checking it out, and check us out on all the socials. Wherever you're watching this, I post on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I also have a merch store if you'd like to help support this channel so I can try to create higher quality content for everyone, because I believe this is knowledge and information that needs to get out to as many people as possible. And all these different organizations such as the Monroe Institute, Dr. Stephen Greer, and multiple other people have talked about they just want to reach 1% of the population, because I know we all operate at a certain frequency, and if we can get that 1% to be operating at the higher frequency, the rest are going to start resonating and matching that frequency, and it will just start slowly awakening the entire population to the fact of that we are more than this. So thanks so much for being here. I'll catch you on the next video. All right, bye.